Ship With Me in Sonic Speed. So this was a Heart cassette single in the cardboard sleeve. It didn't sell for very much. I have hundreds of cassettes and I'm not sure what to do with them. I have some listed and some not listed. All I did was foam wrap it and then put it in a poly, fold the poly over and tape up all of the seams. Measure it, got my label, and on to the next one. This was a super cute owl pendant. Again, I have a whole tote full of costume jewelry that I spent 2 days working on it and I haven't got back to it since. So I have it already wrapped in paper, so I foam wrapped that and then I slid it into a poly, folded it over, and I taped all the seams because I'm an excessive taper. But we've covered that before. Then it was time for a coffee break because coffee's for every time of the day. This is a lot of vintage American bricks. They're like old school Legos. I think it was 125 pieces. Again, it didn't sell for very much, but I think it came out of my death pile listing, so I was totally okay with it. I used a recycled Amazon box, so I had to get some blank labels and cover up everything that was on it previously, which is no big deal for me. And then I measured it up and I got my shipping label. Then we had a Fossil wallet with like a black and white key polka dot pattern on it. I recently figured out that wallets at the Goodwill are only $1.50, so I've been trying to check them out because there's more room for profit there than there is with purses. So actually that day I think I found a Fossil wallet and a Fossil purse. But I put it in a bag and then I foam wrapped it and then I polyed it because I always imagine my polys being stuck in a puddle and it really worries me. So there are 6 of these. I think they're Sosky glasses. They're clear with a gold border, but the gold border doesn't go all the way around. It has like a break in it. They were going priority mail, so I got one of my giant priority mail boxes, went and got a ton of bubble wrap, and I went to town bubble wrapping each of these glasses individually. I left the newspaper on them just because it was already there. So I like to put a giant piece of bubble wrap in the box, and then I bubble wrapped each glass individually, and then I taped it so it was secure. Once all 6 glasses are bubble wrapped, I pack them nicely into the box and I fold that giant piece of bubble wrap that I had originally put in the box over so that they're all in there snug. After that, I use some air bubbles to fill in the extra space. If I don't have air bubbles, I'll put more bubble wrap in there, but the air bubbles are less weight than the bubble wrap and they're free. So, and once it's all taped up, it passes the shake test, get my label, and away we go. Next is a vintage Pyro Ray casserole dish. So, to me, it seemed like an off-brand of Pyrex, but there are collectors out there for everything. This is a much older listing, and it was listed to go priority mail as well. So I got another giant priority mail box and some brown paper. I shoved that in there, packed it in tight, shook it. It was good to go. Taped it up, and away we went. I excessively tape these boxes too. So there's my label. Next we had a set of 4 Nico Ironstone Blue Bonnet salad luncheon plates. I didn't like the way they fit in that box, so I got another box and used my 3-inch tape dispenser to tape it up, covered up all of the stuff on the outside of the box. I do this so much, it's just, second nature. These plates, I individually bubble wrap each individual plate. With Corelle plates, I will double them, like I'll put 1 sheet of bubble wrap in between each plate, but I'll fit 2 plates in the bubble wrap sheet. But with these, they are a different material. They're not a glass plate, so each one was individually bubble wrapped because they're a little more breakable. And then I put a larger sheet of bubble wrap. Oh no, I didn't. I put brown paper down there. which is fine. I put the brown paper in, and then I put some air bubbles to fill the extra space, shake test, and taped it up. This listing was listed to go priority mail, but the buyer reached out and said they wanted to go ground advantage. So, and if you saw me jumping there, it's because I stubbed my toe. It hurt really bad. This last one we are shipping up is a Brother label maker. It took a while to sell, but when it did sell, it sold for like $40, I think. The issue was it was an awkward size and it would not fit in any of my boxes, so I had to resize this giant box. Resizing boxes is not my favorite thing to do, but I will do it. I cut it off, and then I taped up this end. I really eyeball it, which is probably why I don't enjoy doing it so much. Cut some flaps. I had to recut them again. And then I went and got a piece of bubble wrap to bubble wrap the label maker in. And then I shoved it in the box. It was in a hard case, so I wasn't too worried about it. See, I had to recut my flaps because I eyeballed the flaps. I crammed some air bubbles on the one side so it wouldn't shift because I don't want anything rolling. I creased the box with the scissors, and it actually folded up pretty nice. A lot nicer than some of my other resized boxes. So, and then I taped up all the seams. I got some blank labels to cover up the previous labels that were on the box. I measured it, shake test, got my label, and that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.